10 Minutes to Joy is your weekly invitation to reset, recharge, and rediscover your most joyful self through aha moments and simple energy techniques. You're listening to holistic psychotherapist Sylvia Plester-Silk. I've worked with individuals, couples, and groups from parole officer to private practice. I've learned many a lesson, and I'm ready to share. Today, I want to talk to you about muscle testing. This comes from applied kinesiology. And the idea is that if something is a no to our body or a belief that we don't believe in, we will get a weak muscle. And if it is an affirmative or yes, a belief that we actually believe, our muscle will be able to say strong. I have used this technique in my energy work since probably the early 2000s, I'm guessing, when I first took biocomputer operating system, now called the STEEL technique. So how do we do this? Okay, just like anything else energetic, step number one is getting grounded. So here's a really wonderful way to get yourself grounded. Just take some nice deep breaths in. Focus on your heart chakra or your heart area if you don't know your chakras. And imagine filling your heart with love energy, with beautiful, loving, compassionate energy. And now take your consciousness and imagine taking your consciousness from your heart all the way down into the crystalline core of the earth. And now see that coming back up into your feet, into your root, second, third, or solar plex chakra, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, and your crown. And just breathe. So now you are grounded. The second thing that you can do, and this comes, now I'm going to forget her name, Deborah Eden. And what you do is you start at your pubic bone and you bring your hand up to your mouth, lock like a key, and throw the key away. And that's a way of locking in that grounded state within yourself. So when we're doing applied kinesiology, there's numerous ways to do it. We can test on another person. Traditionally, it was tested by putting one arm straight out and asking the person that was being tested to hold their arm straight as a question or a statement was being answered. The practitioner would gently push down, and if it was a weak muscle, that would mean a no. If it was stayed strong, that was a yes. It's also a really good, that one's really hard on the shoulder. I totally do not recommend it. If you want to test somebody else, it is better to have their arm straight forward and then pressing. And what you're going to do, and it's a gentle press. You're not like trying to push it down. You're just letting if the muscle lets go, it responds, right? And so you would say, show me yes, and it should stay strong, and show me no, and it would drop down. If you haven't got that, then you're going to want to do the swipe back up, and you can do that up to 3 times. Then once you've done that, so you've established it, you can say, and generally statements are much more successful for muscle testing than asking questions. We want to do things like absolutely avoid no's, don'ts, can'ts, won'ts, anything of the negative variety when we're muscle testing. And we want to make the statement in the positive. So I believe, so if I'm testing on myself, I'm not going to have my arm up. For me, I use this where I've got two fingers, sorry, interlinked. And so I'm touching my thumb and forefinger on both hands and intersecting the circles. And when I pull, gently pull it, and I say, show me a yes, and I pull and it stays strong. Show me a no, and I pull. I keep my right hand, because I'm right-handed, solid, and my left hand breaks away. So I know that's a negative response or a no. Then you might say, my name is Sylvia, and I'm getting a yes, it's staying strong. My name is Bertha, and it gets weak. I know that my body knows that it's not my truth. We can also do it. Some people will do it with two fingers placed together, and their yes is strong like this. Their no, their fingers will separate. I don't use that. It doesn't work for me. So again, for those of you listening, I've just got two fingers, my forefinger and my middle finger together vertically. Other people will use it like they're playing crokinole, about to play crokinole. So they'll have their thumb and forefinger together and tell me yes, and it stays solid. Tell me no, and it slides. You can also do this standing up. My understanding from a course I've just recently taken on theta healing would indicate that it is best to stand up facing north. You can close your eyes, ask yourself to tell me yes. Yes should go forward. And it feels a bit weird. If you have your eyes closed, it's even more effective. And you're going to make sure you're grounded and do your sweep. And if it's and then say, show me no, and you should go back slightly. You just relax. Don't try and make the movements happen. It's kind of freaky when you first experience it because you do move. Then again, you're going to do the confirmation statement. My name is Sylvia. I would go forward. And I know I'm faking it for those watching on the video. And my name is Bertha, and I'm going to test weak on that. And so these are ways that you can test things for yourself. So let's talk a little bit more about the statements. You want to use statements in the positive, statements in the present tense. It is in my highest and best interest to go for a walk now. It's going to rain this afternoon. Whatever you're taking your question and making it into a statement. Then you're testing the statement for truth or not. Now, I will do true confessions here. We are quite capable with our conscious mind of really, really wanting something to be true for us. And we can sometimes overwhelm our natural muscle testing. So other things, make sure you're really hydrated. It's going to make a big difference to muscle testing. So asking in the positive, avoiding the words no, although again in theta, we ask questions like, I love myself, no, which is new to me and I haven't played with it enough to recommend it. It seems to work when we're in class. That's all I can tell you at this moment. So you're really wanting to get clear on exactly what you're asking. And it is very literal. So if you're asking if a certain supplement, maybe you're at the store and trying to figure out, 3 different options for vitamin C, which one is the best option for you? You would hold it against your chest or heart, and you would say, this vitamin C supplement is healthy for my body in my highest and best. And then see if you can, yes or no. Set it down. You pick up the next one and do the same. Okay. So it can feel really slow. It can feel really strange when you're out in public because it looks like you're being a weirdo. So that's when practicing with hands can be really helpful because it's a little more subtle. And I encourage you to play with this like a curious child. Don't play with it in ways of making fun or making silly about it or trying to predict the future. I had a friend back when I was taking that course in 2000 who would muscle test so much that the muscle testing would get off because it was she was playing a game. Anyway, it's another technique to ask what's in your highest and best interest through using positive statements and having your body respond. Again, make sure you're grounded first, and then make sure that you are hydrated, well hydrated. That's all for today, folks. So remember, intuition is in communicating with your deepest self, tuning into sensations, feelings, and subtle knowing. You can learn to heal your soul's most profound guidance, and you can check with muscle testing to see your truth. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week on 10 Minutes to Joy.